All right, guys. So welcome. This is the Director Bound Kickoff call. And this call should last about 45 minutes with about 15 minutes of question and answer capability on the back end of it. So any one of these calls is going to last about an hour. We're basically going to just go over the outline of this program, what it is involved in, the logistics, that kind of thing. So it's just going to be an overview, not a lot of like coaching, training, not a lot, there's some, but mostly just an overview of this program because it is, like I said, a 90-day program. And so I'll just go over all of that. So I'm so glad that you guys decided to join. I'm glad that you decided to give this a try. It's going to be really great for your business, and you know, there's nothing but good things that are going to come out of this. So I'm excited. So let's get started. So like I said, we're going to talk about the logistics and the requirements of the program. I do have I'm going to go ahead and pin my video. So. Okay, there we go. I do have a guide that I'm going off of, just so you guys know. So if you're wondering why I'm looking down, that's why. But I want to make sure that I don't cover up my microphone. So, okay, so logistics. So there are the phone calls, the dates of the calls are in the, okay, if you go to our Facebook page, and you go to the pinned post, there is a link to a calendar document, and it has the dates of all the calls. So this is the kickoff call. Then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 calls in total, 8 if you include the informational call last week. Each one of the calls is going to be 1 hour. I chose Wednesday at 1 o'clock my time because it enables the most amount of people to be on here live at any given moment. We do have some people participating in this program that are in Germany, and so this means that it will be 8 o'clock their time. So it just gives them the capability to participate live. So I know that people work. I know that there's lots of other you know, outside forces at play here. If you are going to participate in this program, then I would highly encourage you to watch the video within 24 hours of the scheduled time. So if you're in the States, you need to watch it. I mean, I would say that night if you can, and then watch it 24 hours. That's going to give you the maximum amount of time to do whatever homework is assigned or anything like that before the next call. So it's just going to be good for you. Okay. So, so that is that. Like I said, they're going to be every 2 weeks. So starting today, every 2 weeks. So the next, just to get you started on the next couple of calls, we'll have today, which is, I have this down. Oh, here it is right here. I'm sorry. My calendar starts on Monday. And so whenever I look at it, I get so thrown off. So we have today is the 11th. The next call number 1 is going to be April 25th. All right. So it'll be April 25th at 1 o'clock Central Time. That's 2 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific. Okay. So, so I just want to remind you of the requirements to reach director. That is 5 active or 5 active consultants. Strive to promote with 8 to 10. That kind of is the magic number. $750 in personal sales. So $750 in personal sales is the requirement, but you definitely want to strive to reach a minimum of $2,500 each month. Would recommend $2,500. Okay, and then $5,000 in team sales. Goal should be $7,000 because that puts you above minimums. We definitely don't want to work to minimums. Working to minimums sets you up for failure, so we don't want that. All right. So here are some of the things that you can expect from the Director Bound program. You're going to get results, and you're going to achieve your dreams and goals. How does that sound? Exciting? Yes. You're going to get fun and interaction. This is designed to be interactive, which is why I picked this time that could kind of include everybody. You're going to get lots of support from me, lots of support from your Director Bound family. If you guys want I can create a Facebook group that is just for the Director Bound participants. I know we're all in 1,000 different groups, but I can definitely, I started a group chat, but we could definitely include a group if you guys prefer. I just need you to let me know and I will set that up, okay? But you should friend each other and you should be talking together on just communicating together, boosting each other up, that kind of a thing. That's why I started that chat. Okay, so let's talk about the requirements of the program. And I don't want anybody to start freaking out already when I start listing these. This is the requirements that's going to take to stay enrolled in this program. And remember, when you do this, you're going to have a rockin' sockin' business, all right? So your first requirement is to have 8 parties booked and hold at least 6 each month. There's no designation between cooking shows and catalog shows. So if your calendar can only support a small amount of cooking shows, then fill the gap with with virtual parties, okay? If you are worried, oh my gosh, I've never had 8 shows in a month, it's okay. You can definitely do this. And that's what the booking blitz was for, to get you guys up and running. Even if you didn't get to participate in the booking blitz that I did yesterday, you can still do it yourself. Plan it for this weekend. Set aside the time to do it, okay? If you need help getting those bookings on your calendar, let me know. I have gone from 0 to 8 many times over, okay? So the first one is hold 8 parties. Have 8 scheduled, hold 6, okay? The second requirement is attend all 6 calls and give them your full attention. And so like I said, I understand that things come up. You cannot attend them live. Completely okay. Be sure to listen to the call within 24 hours, if possible 48, and so that you can get the most out of those calls. They're only 1 hour long. Sometimes you have to listen to half of it and then listen to half of it again, and that's completely okay. Complete the call to action from each call. At the end of each call, I'm going to give you a list of things that are the call to action, and so you'll want to complete those by the time that we have the next call. Complete a consult 90-day tracker as each party is held. That's in this Director Bound participant workbook. If you do not have this workbook, go to Consultants Corner, go to training and whatever, training and something. Training and let's see what it says, training and resources. And then if you just go down that list, there is a link to the Director Bound program. You'll print out the participant workbook. These things are also located in our files, in the Dropbox files. You can get them there. But this is the 90-day tracker. Sorry, it's a black and white version. This is the 90-day tracker. You're going to print this out. It's going to be your guide. You're going to put it in a binder or whatever, have it on your thing to fill out after every single party, okay? We're going to go over it. We're going to go over it together. So that's going to be something that you and I are going to do together after every single party, okay? So complete the 90-day tracker as each party is held, and then commit to a party-based coaching call after each party. That's the second part of it. And so it'll be like a 10 to 15-minute call the next day after any one of your parties, and we'll go over, we'll fill out those blanks. You'll probably have those blanks filled out. You're going to give them to me so I can fill them out on your tracker that I have, and then we're going to talk about it. Think what comes next. What do we need to work on? Okay, so I will tell you the requirement to have the 8 shows in place is going to be by call 3. Okay, so I realize it takes some time to get that schedule going. So call number 3 is scheduled for May 23rd. Okay, so that's halfway through the program is when you should have your 8 calls or your 8 shows booked for each month. Okay, so by the time we get to that call 3, you guys should have that done, okay? And we're going to talk today about some ways to get that done, okay? All right, so I'll be partnering with you to support in your efforts. I'll plan to talk with you with each of you for about 15 to 20 minutes after each party to go over your monthly tracker. We'll review and track your numbers to make sure that we keep you on track and that you meet your goal. Let me know when your next party is by sending me an email or a Facebook message. Okay, you could, or text, okay, whatever works for you. So contact me and let me know. You'll want to have your tracker completely filled out by the time we do our call. That way you won't have to take time to find the information during our call. So this is a team effort. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Okay, perfect. So I know that some of you guys might have hesitations after hearing about the requirements. However, having requirements is the key to your success in this business. As your director, my goal is to set you up for success. And the truth is that those who are committed and want to make this happen will rise to the occasion. Some of the feedback I got was, I'm not a good recruiter. I don't have enough shows on my calendar. And this is your opportunity to rise to the occasion, okay? If you're serious about your business, you'll take the action steps needed to make it happen. If your why is big enough, you'll have the determination to succeed. And as the saying goes, if you treat this like a real job, it will pay you like a real job. And if I let you off the hook, then I'm going to be setting you up for failure, and that's not my goal. I don't want to do that. So I will tell you a little story here about the lead program that I'm doing with home office, and there are some really tough requirements that they have on us, and there's no opportunity. Like we have to do X number of shows in a month. We have to submit 8 shows every month. We have to have 2 recruits every month. They can be re-signs, but we have to have 2 additions to our team to our personal team every month. And then there's a whole bunch of homework, and we have to read 5 chapters every day. Blah, 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 blah. So it's a great program. And I'll have to tell you, I was terrified when I first started, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to be able to meet these requirements. But what I found was that because I want the training and because I want the information that they're sharing with me throughout the week, I rise to the occasion and I do the activities that need to be done to get the results that I want to stay in the program. And I find that some of the people who are falling out of the program, they have other things going that are stopping them, or they're stopping themselves, allowing themselves to be stopped from doing that. So my why is big enough. I know why I do this business. I know why I want more out of this business, and it makes me unstoppable to know those things. So if you don't know that and you're not sure right now what you want to get out of this business, I know some of you want to stay home. Maybe you're working full time and you want to stay home. I know that maybe you need to contribute more income financially to your family so you can continue to stay home. I know that some of you just like the personal commitment or the personal fulfillment of achieving things. That was me in the beginning. So those kind of things, knowing what your why is and why you do this is really important. And if you don't know that, then let's have a call to discover that, because that is real. I have a list of questions I can ask you. If you're a brand new consultant, we've gone through that list of questions, and so your why is probably pretty evident. But if you don't know, then let's discuss that, because that's going to be really important. There will be 2 passes granted. So let's say you have a month where you don't meet the requirement, you'll get a pass that month. So maybe you didn't do the homework, maybe you didn't listen to the call within 24 hours, you'll have a pass that month, okay? You have to ask for it, or let me know, hey, I'm gonna take a pass, but you can have 2 passes, okay? So 2 oopses where you don't meet that requirement. So, but I know that you're going to want to. My goal was to finish lead with no passes. And in the month of March, I had to take a pass on shows. For some reason, I only had 3 shows in March. So I don't know what happened. So anyway, I had a lot more on my calendar, but not a lot completed. So anyway, all right. So, so now we're going to talk a little bit about how to track your contacts, okay? Because tracking your weekly contacts is going to be something that's really huge. And I've talked about this before because I started doing it with the lead program and it made a big difference. So Tiara, I know that you're doing this, but we're going to be really, really intentional about this. So you want to track your weekly contacts because we'll be sharing these results on each of our calls. We'll start our calls off with, you know, a share moment. So have you ever heard of the phrase, winners keep score? Okay, yeah, okay, so this whole not keeping score thing, you don't know who wins or loses, that's not going to work for you in this business. Statistics show that when you track your activity, you have better results. Can you imagine that? And that's why we use the 90-day tracker, and that's why we go to using the, see, I can't even find my little tracker with my phone calls in it because I keep moving it around. So, but you want to track your phone calls every month. So I just used it yesterday. So anyway, so you want to track your, oh, here it is. It's in my calendar. That's why. So you want to track your phone calls. Okay. At the Director Bound meeting, we discussed tracking contacts, and it's just as important to track your contacts on a regular basis as it is to track your party results. So we're going to be doing this together, and I'm going to be doing this right alongside you. Now, here is a kicker. At least 50% of your contacts need to be new business every day. So sometimes you're going to be following up with people from shows, but sometimes you're going to be out there looking for new contacts, okay? So what's, and then you're going to get a little notebook like this, okay? Can you, I know it's all whited out. Like, why is it whited out? So, again, anyway, this is just a little spiral notebook, okay? Oh, it's whited out because it's white. Okay, so I'm like, I don't understand. That's so weird. Okay, so this is my 5 contacts a day, okay? And I just take a week, and this is last week, okay? So I just take a week and I write down the contacts, okay? I write down my contacts from every single day. So I don't know why I didn't finish writing my contacts down. I think I couldn't find my notebook, so I went to a sticky note, and I need to move them back in there. So anyway, every week you want to write down your contacts. I like to write down, here's a good, and then I highlight and make notes. Like if they actually booked, this is really good. Can you guys see? I don't think you can see very well because I have my lighting in here weird. But if they actually booked or they actually signed up, then I actually highlight their name, okay? So then I can get tracking to see what's my ratio of my contacts to my results, all right? So I am a tracker-oriented person, so that works for me. But I just got one of those cheapy little notebooks from the dollar store, super cheap. The paper is ridiculously cheap. If I push it too much, then it falls out, so but that's okay because it's just for tracking purposes. So what is what do you guys think is the #1 reason that consultants don't have enough parties? You can unmute and share.
That consultants don't have enough parties.
Mm-hmm. There's no wrong answer, by the way.
And not following up, not reaching out to the contacts.
Okay, so they don't call enough people, or they don't call enough new people. This is the big thing, is they don't call enough new people. How many of you guys feel like you keep calling the same people? Okay, I get that a lot. If I've called somebody, if they've already been in my notebook, they don't get to go on my notebook again. Okay, so the reason you feel that way is because you are. So it's time to start looking for new ways to find new contacts. So doing vendor events, things like that, doing more parties, asking for referrals. That's a big one, okay? So that is a little bit about that. So you definitely want to have new people. So you can do this digitally. You can do the little spiral notebook. So first thing though, get yourself some kind of tracking system. I really recommend the spiral notebook. That is what I have used for years and years. And it's funny, but every time I move, I'll find a new spiral notebook that I used for another program. When I was tracking this. So my goal this time is to make it through this whole track notebook, toss it and then get a new one. So, so first thing tomorrow, you want to go out and buy a little spiral notebook that you'll use just to track your contacts. Contacts include calls, Facebook messages, texts, emails, and people that you meet out and about. There must be a response to count it as a contact. Okay, so this is probably going to be one of the biggest investments of your time, aside from the shows right now, getting this. But once you get it down pat, then it's going to, and you find the place to fit it into your schedule. I like to do it first thing in the morning, and I like to use Facebook message and text message. So 9 o'clock is when I like to do these things if I'm working in my office in the morning. Otherwise, first thing when I get in my office, I do this first thing, because then it drives everything else I do in my office, okay? So, let me tell you a little bit about what each page of your notebook will be used for. So you want to pull out a blank piece of paper, okay? And I'm going to do this on the thing back here. And you're going to draw a line down the middle of your page. Okay? You guys see that? Awesome. On the left side, you're going to write old business. And on the right side, you're going to write new business. Now this is a little bit different than what I'm doing in my tracker, but I'm going to do it this way because I'm teaching you guys, so I'm going to do it along with you. So what are some examples of old business? What do you think?
Past hosts.
Okay, so hosts. We'll just say hosts, okay? Because old business is when you have to do some host coaching, right? Okay. What else are some examples of old business? Past hosts, new. We'll do current and past. You don't have to write this down, but this is examples, okay? So hosts, current and past. Maybe customer care.
Okay.
Okay. So like if you need to follow up because somebody broke something. Okay. What are some examples of new business?
Vendor events.
Vendor events, vendor leads.
Vendor leads.
What about people that you meet out and about? At the bank, at the grocery store, that kind of stuff. Also, referrals. Okay? So referrals are another form of new business. Old business can also be, it can also be maybe people from a party. Okay, so you get what I mean. So party guests, those are old business, okay? Because you met them at a party. All right. So so those are some examples, okay, of old business and new business. So so at every meeting, we are going to talk a little bit about ways to find new business. And so, okay, so back to the spiral notebook. We're going to number the left side of the page 1 to 10. All right. And we are going to number the right side of the page 1 to 5. Okay. So remember, at least 50% of your business will be new business. So if you're a newer consultant, you actually may have all 15 of your people over on the right side. So what you want to do is the night before you make your calls is you want to make a list of your names. Make your list of names in this notebook the night before you make your calls. Remember to add your out and about contacts that you meet today on your list for tomorrow. Next to each number, you'll write the name and the phone number. So as you make the calls, you'll add your results. For example, you'll write party booked left message, okay? So this you might have Susie, you met her at the commissary, and you have her number, okay? And then you'll make a look, you'll make a message, left message, okay? Or text, okay? For your results, all right? So every day you're gonna have your page divided like that, okay? Does that make sense? I know this is probably a little bit different than what you were doing. So this way you get your visual of you've got your current contacts and your new contacts. So let me give you a tip for meeting people out and about or referrals. Use your app, okay? I created a group that's called Out and About Contacts. And whenever I meet somebody in the Out and About I add them. I'm like, oh, hey, go ahead and just fill this out real quick so I can email you the link to my whatever it's called, to my website, okay? And so I can send you my newest newsletter. So I just show them the app with the contact information, and then I have them fill it out. And I'm like, just go ahead and fill it out. But then look, down here at the bottom, it has all of my groups, right? So then I can click my Out and About Contacts group. So then the next day when I'm getting ready to make my phone calls, I know I need to check my Out and About contact group to call those people, all right? So that's gonna help you keep track of that. Okay?
Is that in the Pampered Chef app?
Yeah. It's under contacts, and you just click new contact.
And the groups are in there too?
Yeah, and the groups, when you have a new contact, okay, let's see. When you have, I'm doing this backwards. So when you have a new contact, it shows all of the groups. Okay?
Oh, I see. So you just got to scroll down.
You just scroll down and then you click
a new group.
what you want them to add. So you got to create a new group. I think you have to create a new group on the website first.
Oh, add new group.
Oh, if they're on the on the website. So they're trying to make it so that everything's available on the app. So so anyway, so yeah, you can add that new group on there, and then every time you're out and about, that gives you a place to find it. You're not going to lose it. It's not going to be crumpled. People do this all the time. They add their information to, I sat, and I started doing this because I sat at a vendor event and I watched the unique lady hand her phone to every single person that stopped at her event. She had them add their contact information in her phone right there. I couldn't believe it. And they did it. They didn't want to fill out my drawing slip, but they filled out her. Crazy. So I started doing it her way, and people are like, oh yeah, sure, bloop, 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 bloop. Right there. So no messy handwriting, no nothing like that. So anyway, so I do that all the time when I meet people out and about. I'm like, hey, just add your information here. And I said, if you put your mailing address, then I'll mail you a catalog, So, so that, and they do. They give me their mailing address, then I mail them a catalog. I don't mind. It's $1, $2, something like that. And then I can follow up with them. So, okay. So you add your out and about contacts that you meet today to your list for tomorrow. Next to each number, write the name and the phone number. And as you make the calls, add the results. Plan to do a power hour any day that you don't have a party. Okay. So I do, oh gosh, I'm going to sneeze you guys. Maybe. I do parties personally, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, okay? And so sometimes I do virtual parties on the days in between. But any day you don't have like an actual party that you're going to and spending 2 or 3 hours, plan to have a power hour, okay? You have to have your power hour at 6 in the morning and you're sending emails, that's okay. that's when you do it, okay? If you're sending Facebook messages, that's when you do it, okay? Go ahead, because people check their email first thing, that's actually a good time to do it. But power hour is where you spend concentrated time working on your business. A lot of times people will divide their power hour up into 4 segments, where you're spending 15 minutes making new contacts, 15 minutes making host contacts, 15 minutes making, whatever. I like to focus my days on tasks for each day. So Mondays I do, and so there's lots of different ways that you can do it. But if you have an hour of concentrated time that does not include Facebook scrolling, does not include, chit-chatty texting with your sister, or anything like that, then that's a good time. So set it up where it's a concentrated time, okay? Write the start time and ending time of your power hour at the top of your page to find out the best time to make those contacts, okay? And you can move it around. Maybe on Mondays you do it first thing in the morning, and on other days you do it. So Mondays you might do it first thing in the morning, and other days you might switch and do it another time, just to kind of find out when, especially if you're making phone calls on some days. Don't call people at 6 in the morning. That's not good. So the next thing that you're going to do is make the contacts, and be sure to offer them the opportunity to book the party or join your team on each call. Now, when we started doing that, when they started saying that for the lead team, and they were like, every call you should do this, I was like, really? But what I found was that it's not anything that's weird or anything that's it's just like doing a full service checkout. I'm asking, hey, would you like to find out how to have a little more fun in your life? Hey, would you like to find out how to have a little more money in your life? That kind of thing. So if you have to leave a message, be sure to use one additional form of communication immediately to contact those you leave messages with. This means if you leave a message, people don't check their voicemail. So if you leave a message, follow up with the text, follow up with an email, follow up with a Facebook message. I recommend a text because it's going to be right in conjunction. And my texts always start out with, hi, this is Jennifer Soto with the Pampered Chef. Okay? You can, on iPhones at least, I don't know about anything else, but on an iPhone, you can set up words that when you start typing it, it automatically fills it in. So, hi, AJ. So anyway, so that is one opportunity that you have, is definitely follow up with either a text or an email or a Facebook message. If you're not Facebook friends with them, I don't recommend following up with a Facebook message, because it's still going to get lost in there. They have to click, to go see it. So let's see. So you would send, an example would be, you would send a text with, hey, I just left you a voicemail. Can't wait to see what you think. Okay, not give me a call back, but can't wait to see what you think. Okay, so there you go. That's a very simple, not threatening, leaves them hanging. You don't want to put all your eggs in the email. You don't tell them everything in the email or the text. Just keep it really simple. So this would be, I just got a voicemail. Can't wait to see what you think. All right. So when you connect with your contact, be sure to record the results of your conversation in your notebook. At the end of your 45 minutes of your power hour, so at the end of your 45 minutes, stop and do any follow-up as the result of your calling, okay? So example would be send host packets, email host flyers. Let's see, at the bottom of the page, list the overall results, and be sure to track the number of people you called, the number of people you talked to, and your results, the number of bookings, opportunity chats, and sales. Okay, so my daughter's texted me like 4 times. I have to tell her I'm on a training call. So anyway, so summary is 45 minutes making contacts, 15 minutes doing follow-up, and then make sure you track your results. Super important. So you want to just do this regularly because you want to discover your ratios. How many people does it take for you to contact, for you to call to get the responses? how many times do you have to call somebody to get a response? I had a girl that I met in October at a vendor booth, and I called her and called her. My thing is 8. That is my touches. I will do 8 touches before I kind of say, okay, the end. But this girl, I called her and called her and called her. I sent her a message. I mailed her a catalog, and she did not respond. Not a peep, nothing. And I was like, okay, just going to write her off. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do one more phone call. And so I did a phone call, and she answered, and she said, hey, she's like, I have not been meaning to ignore you. Okay, it surely seemed that way. We booked her party. She's having her party on April 17th. Okay, so don't write people off. Don't think if they filled out the information, they know you're going to call them. Okay, if they gave you the information, they know they're expecting you to call them. If they gave you their information and you don't call them, then they're going to think all kinds of bad thoughts about themselves. You tell me about that, Tiara, because people don't do stuff. It's not intentional, and they think all kinds of bad, self-talk, right? All right, so I saw your post the other day. So you put it on Facebook, I might comment about it. All right, so you definitely want to find your ratios. How many times does certain contacts take? Like some contacts that you meet at a vendor event take more touches than people you meet at a show. Okay, and so that's something that's really good for you to know, and you can track that by writing it all down. Out of the 5 people you spoke to, 1 booked a party. Okay, so that makes you know, okay, I have to talk to 5 people on average to book a party. Your ratio for calls made compared to the number of people in home is about 5 out of 15 or 1 in 3. So you're not off track if you're calling and leaving messages or people are not answering their phone. You're not off track. Okay, your ratio for getting a booking is 1. Okay, so this is, I keep interjecting. Let me give you this whole scenario without interjecting. So if you call 15 people and 5 were home, 1 out of 5 people you spoke to booked a party. Your ratio for calls made compared to the number of people home is 5 out of 15 or 1 out of 3. Your ratio for getting a booking is 1 out of 5. So that tells you that you're going to have to pick up the phone and dial 15 times to get a booking, okay? So that's why you want to track, because you want to know all of those things. If you need 3 bookings to fill your calendar, this means you need to call 45 people. You need to talk to 15, and then you get your 3 bookings, okay? If you're able to call 15 people in 45 minutes, you need to set aside some time to do 3 hours, okay? You'll start to see a pattern in a couple of weeks. The more you do this, the better your ratios will get. And on each of your director-bound calls, you'll be sharing the results and your ratios. And this takes the guesswork out of booking a full calendar, because you know exactly what you need to do to get the results, okay? Everything can be drilled down to numbers. Everything, okay? Everything can be quantified. And so some people, it takes less time, and some people it takes more time, but you have to know your numbers. And then your goal is to kind of make those a little bit smaller, okay? So we are right at 45 minutes. Okay, so let me give you your call to action. Okay, so your call to action for this kickoff program is to continue to book your calendar with the goal of 8 parties a month. Okay, every week you're going to have a training audio, or every time you're going to have a training audio assigned. And so this week's call is called, guess what? Make it a full calendar. Okay, it's a workshop from conference hosted by Ann McMillan, Olivia Kuko, and Shaylin Hola. So this is how you find it. Okay, you go to Consultants Corner, you go to Training and Resources, and you go to the Director Bound from that drop down, and then you go to Consultant Resources. Okay, and it should be right there. Let me make sure. Okay, Director Bound, and then you go to, well, go to Kickoff Call. This is not in here. I'm going to have to, under Consultant Resources, you'll go to Kickoff Call. There'll be a PDF for tracking, and it explains how to use the Spiral Notebook. Okay, it basically went over everything that we went over today, and then the phone call is in there as well. Okay, so you can just download it and let me. You can just download it and listen to it. Okay, and so those are the things that you have to do between now and the 25th of April. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. My phone is going off like crazy. Like, I don't understand. Okay. So by the 25th. All right. So let's see. So I'm going to unmute you, Tiara. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Well, kind of. Okay. So you talked before this, and I started my tracker in March.
Okay.
Do you want me to start it now instead?
Just start doing this if you want to.
Okay.
Just the next one, start doing this. This is going to help you differentiate your old and your new. Okay, and it's kind of like when I told you the story of how I would pull out and I would have, okay, here's my 3 things of, I have 12 people at this party. That means I need to give away 4 recruiting brochures, and I have them sat right there. So that's what these numbers right here are. They're going to force you to go out and look for that new business. Okay. And so, and like I said, oh, go ahead.
My vendor leads will be in the new business. And my notebook is small enough that I'm just going to do 2 pages for 1 week. And then, so this is going to be business follow-up.
And that's fine. Do it the way that makes you feel comfortable. But I want you to differentiate, between your old business and your new business. So people that, you met at parties, people you met at, I don't know. So you could probably, if you met somebody at a party, you could probably put them under new business the first time that you follow up with them. But, hosts or people that you're calling a second time, they are not considered new business. So, and you want to be making sure that you're offering the opportunity to all of your hosts. Okay. So that's really important. And you can offer them the opportunity. You can offer the opportunity, in various ways throughout your host coaching. So, but yeah, I definitely find a way that works for you. You can look at the document that's on the consultant corner and see if it kind of, if it outlines it any differently than what I put up here. I'm yawning again. Oh. So
I missed it. Somebody was talking.
This
training call is going to be our call to action for this call, right?
Yes. So your call to action is you have 2 things. Continue to book your calendar and listen to the training call.
Okay.
Those are your 2 things. And so once you get those are the 2 things. So that's it. It's simple.
What is power hour?
So, power hour. A power hour is when you sit down and you work. It's like doing your homework after school, right? So you sit down and then your mom's going to make phone calls to get her calendar full, and she's going to spend a specified time doing that. So you got to help her by keeping your sister occupied.
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, come on. Anyway, so if that's it, then I'm going to go ahead and close out. Let me turn off the recording.